So, how are things? We are, what's this, our third Eat the Streets recipe? And so we're going to be making some fajitas, which is exactly what you want to do on the hottest day of the year. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start by doing a little bit of roasted corn salsa. So I've got some nice frozen corn that's a little bit defrosted. So I'm going to throw that in a baking dish. And then into that, I'm going to throw a little bit of cumin. This is like my favorite thing that we accidentally discovered at Littlebury. One of the chefs was just really tired one day and was going to refill the pepper grinder and accidentally filled it with cumin seeds, but it works perfect. Highly recommend it if you have a spare pepper grinder on the go. And apologies if I forgot to put cumin seeds on the list of ingredients. I was a little bit tired by that. So we'll go with a little bit of cumin. We're going to go with some lime zest. And we are going to probably have the zest of the whole lime in there. A little black pepper. A lot of black pepper. A little oregano, some salt, and just a touch of smoked paprika. And then you want to go ahead and mince a garlic clove and throw that in there too. So while I'm doing this, I might as well tell you what we've got going on. So we're going to do fajitas. We're going to do vegetarian fajitas. I'm going to use some lovely portobello mushrooms. They're not like a meat substitute, but they'll give you like that sort of meaty kind of oomph that you're looking for from something like this. I'm going to do a little guacamole. I'm going to do a really simple lime yogurt. And then I'm also going to do some refried pinto beans. All in an hour, all using one pan and one roasting dish. So if you don't count all the bowls that I'm going to put everything in, it's a really handy one to clean up. So I'm just going to go ahead and mince some garlic. Then a little trick that I like to do, throw a little coarse salt. So you want to use some nice-ish salt. I'm going with Meldon because it's my favorite. And if you change one of the letters in my last name, it's almost my family fortune. So I'm just going to macerate that into our board. And then what that's going to help do is going to season all of the vegetables that we're going to chop later on with a little bit dry. So that's pretty much everything in here. I'm going to put a little olive oil on. Going to give it a nice little mix around. Make sure everything is nicely coated. And I'm going to quickly throw it off counter to the oven, where it's going to go in for, I would say, about 20 minutes at about 180, 200 degrees. What you're looking for from that, it'll depend on your oven, but what you're looking for is for it to just start to get a little bit golden around the outside and still kind of not be too dried out, but have that nice like roasted corn sort of flavor to it. So before we do any other cooking, let's get some lime yogurt out of the way. This is a really simple one. And so I've got one lime. I've got about, I'd say 200 mils of yogurt, give or take, and some salt. And that's all it is. So good pinch of salt, maybe half a teaspoon. Juice of lime. Throw a whole one in it. And you know, just because they're here, let's throw some zest in there too. Give it a nice bit of color. Give that a stir. real limey, maybe just a touch more salt. Give that kind of savory buzz. Right, that is good. Put that in the fridge. It's good to go for later on. Quick to clean up. So there was a lot of recipes submitted for this competition, but this one particularly jumped out at me because this was kind of the first recipe I think of when I think of like where my love for food really started. And so there was this this American family moved in up the road from us. We went over for dinner one time. That was the first time I'd ever had Mexican, and it was probably some kind of old El Paso meal kit kind of thing. But oh, it was just crazy. Like it was like nothing I'd had before. Yeah, again, to this day, Mexican is probably my favorite food overall, if I have to choose. So I am going to just finish the last couple bits for our corn salsa. So I'm gonna just kind of finely dice half of that onion. Keep the other half because we can use that in the fajitas themselves. Fine-ish, doesn't have to be perfect. And so we'll just cut these into nice cubes. And then we're going to quick pickle. So we're going to macerate them with a little bit of salt. All that means is I'm going to take some salt. I'm just going to massage it into the onions to kind of break it down a little bit. Fine-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's it. So yeah, we're just going to do a real quick line pickle. So, a pinch of salt. There's, oh, it's a juice apple one. Just kind of get in there with your fingertips, give it a little massage, make sure you don't, like I do, have a lot of cuts in your hand. Because now we're just literally rubbing salt into the wound. So we'll leave that go. That is just going to turn wonderfully pink. It's going to really take the kind of the bite out of the onions themselves. And it's going to make them all really nice, sweet and salty, limey. Okay, so let's get going on some mushrooms next. So, all right, so I am going to see if that works. So we're going to go with our portobellos. We're going to do like nice-ish slices. So not crazy thick, but not too thin. So we're looking at about a centimeter, maybe a little bit less. We're going to get a pan ripping off. These mushrooms are one of those things that you can't really overcook. It's very, very difficult to burn mushroom. So you want to treat them a little bit like you would treat steak. They need nice fry heat and a good sear and get a caramelization on the outside. And I'm going to show you a trick in a minute to stop them kind of going a bit. This is going to be like a real easy kind of mushroom. So we'll get our pan nice and warm. I'm using a cast iron for this. I would highly recommend anybody looking for any pan to invest in cast iron. They're not crazy expensive. They do take a little bit of maintenance, but they can literally last forever. I've had this one for about 5 years now, and it is still as perfect as the day that I got it. If you look after it, you season it after you use it, so you just clean it down, dry it, put a little bit of oil on it, and it'll keep kind of a nice, what's it, nice and hot. Say we're almost there. And they've got like almost a nice non-stick sort of feel to it. So this is a bit of a different one. So I'm going to throw some salt in the pan first. And what that's going to do when I put the mushrooms in is it's going to help season them first and foremost, but it's also going to start drawing a little bit of the moisture. It's going to help them get like really firm, kind of crisp. So that's a good sign. That's what we want to hear when putting mushrooms in. Nice and civil. So we're going to do these in batches. You don't want to crowd the pan. You want to make sure the mushrooms are in contact with the metal. You're going to get brass every now and again. Feel free to use a spoon or a spatula or something. So I'm just going to let those cook away. Just going to throw these guys here, ready for the next round. Yes, I have this pan relatively high. So if you're cooking on gas, I'd say full whack. If you're cooking on maybe ceramic pot, nobody else.
Great question.
Hit me.
Can you use button mushrooms?
Could you use cotton mushroom? Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say still probably keep them about the acre. So you might want to, depending on the size of the mushroom, cut it in half. There's quarters if they're a particularly big mushroom. But yeah, definitely. So what's happening there, I think, is this induction hob is just heating the center of the cast iron. So the ones from the middle are looking good. The ones on the outside, not so much. Turn that down a little bit. We'll have a look see. Oh yeah. Okay, my hand will be a little bit big for this pod, but we'll make it work. And don't worry too much about it. So that's the kind of level we're looking for. Quite crisp. It's not burnt, it's quite dark, it's going to be rich, it's really going to intensify all that mushroom flavor in the center of these things. And they're going to be like firm, still a little bit juicy. But not squidgy by any means, not what you think of if you would say not a mushroom. Yeah, those guys a little bit more. And so the other thing I'm going to put into my corn salsa is just a little bit of tomatoes. I'm going to take the center out of the tomato. And that is just going to keep it nice and firm, not too wet. And I'm just going to do those in a little bit, it's not too bad. So I'm going to swap this real quick. Bear with us. Okay. Right. New induction is working better than old induction, so we're back in business. With a minor detour, but we're getting places. So, still on about a relatively high heat. Okay. So, make a little guacamole while we're waiting for our mushroom. So I got some nice pasta carrots. So just going to spin my knife around the center. Put that in half. Quite lucky. That's nice. Be really careful when you're doing this. Take as much time as you need. A couple options for getting stone out. You can just dip your knife into it and press it off. You can just squeeze them out if they're nice and light. And we're not too worried about keeping the shape perfect. We're going to smash them anyway. So, grab yourself a spoon, run it around the edge. Make sure you get all that shape. Cool. Now, straight away before we do the egg, I'm going to throw some lime juice onto this. It's just going to start becoming brown, and also avocados and limes are just preference. So right about juice of half a lime on that so far. I might throw a little bit more on after we give it a taste. So we'll go in with the salt. We will go in with some pepper. Quickly look at the mushrooms. Oh, yeah. They are crisp up nicely. And I'm just going to go and give these guys a quick little mash. You can go as you can go fine, you can go smooth, you can go as chunky as you want. This is all personal preference. And then we're going to finish this with a little bit of coriander, maybe a little red onion because I have it here. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, you can really put whatever you want into a guacamole. So you could throw a little bit of chili in there. You could, oh, these mushrooms are looking good. I'm going to take those up. Throw some cumin. Wouldn't go astray. So I'm just going to throw these to the side. Mash them too. A little bit more salt in there. More salt, tiny bit more oil. Don't go too heavy on the oil because mushrooms tend to soak it up a bit. That's fun. Yeah, so we'll do a little bit. So we're starting to get a quarter of an onion diced in here. That's fine. I'm going to do a little bit of cardamom there. Whatever you're checking, herbs like this. Close enough for all this. I'm going to roll into this. And I'll just go through right quick. So that's about right about the cardamom. Do that quick stir too. Do the soy paste. Good. Okay. Cool. That's done. That's out of the way. Put that in the fridge for that. Okay. So it's been about 20 minutes or so, so we should probably have a look at our corn in the oven. So I'm going to take a quick gander at the corn.
These are terrible.
And let it go. Okay. All right, how are our mushrooms doing? Let's give those 5 more minutes. Almost there. We're looking goldenish around the edges, but take it just find it a little bit further. It'll be nice and sweet. Okay, so our mushrooms are almost done. So we are going to get these out of our way. We're going to start prepping our peppers and onions. So let's cut this down in half. You want to take out all of this white seeds and the stem, so just carefully go around everything. So get this. Same again. I'm going to put that into some nice little strips. Thin or as thick as you like. It's all your preference. So whatever you prefer, there is no right or wrong way. So that's pepper. Do a lemon. I'm just going to do this in some slices. And as thin or as thick as you feel comfortable. If you go super thin, just adjust your cooking time. Take it down a little bit. Okay, go adjust. All right, mushrooms are looking good. We're almost there. Just about ready. go in with our peppers and onions. Do another half a pepper. So, quick little recap. We have our lime yogurt. We have our guacamole done. We have our roasted corn salsa. Almost there. I'd say another 2 minutes and we're good on that one. We are just about to finish our mushrooms. A little bit more salt on those. Top of the salt there. So a little bit more salt on those. So all we have left to do is warm up our tortillas and fry off our peppers and onions really quickly. Finish our salsa, and then I'm going to show you really quick refried food. Okay. So mushrooms are just about there. So there's all the time. Lovely. We're going to go straight in. A little bit more oil, a little bit more salt. Straight in with our onions first. Throw those around. Using the same pan, we're gonna take a little bit of that mushroom flavor. It's kind of locked into the cast iron, and we're sort of, in a way, deglazing it with these onions. So probably you won't see it because it's a black pan. Obviously, we built up a little bit of foam, a little bit of like caramelized mushroom stock, if you will, on the bottom, and we're just going to take that off with these mushrooms. Everything is kind of seasoning all the way through, you know what I mean? Just go straight in with peppers. And then seasoning wise for these, we're going to go heavy on some oregano. So I'm going to say about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. Chili, personal preference. So however much you like. So I'm going to go with about a pinch and a half. I like it spicy. A little bit of smoked paprika. So what we're doing with paprika here is like we're kind of mirroring a little bit of sort of flavor that you might get from open fire cooking. A little bit of that smoke, a little bit of spice, and then one that you might not think about. And a little bit of cinnamon. So the cinnamon in this, it's not going to make it taste sweet, but it just gives it that little like, what is this? Why is this different? But you know, in a good way. And cinnamon's used a lot in savory Mexican cooking. It's gonna burn a little bit, the cinnamon, and give you kind of a nice, like a charred, sort of a smoky kind of spicy flavor. And why are you not? There we go. Okay. Back into Gonna let those take away. Since we are getting pretty close, we will throw our tortillas in the oven. Our corn is definitely ready to come in. And we're going to swap it with and tortillas. We're just going to wrap these up in a little tin foil. So that's going to do, sorry if you can't hear me over the tin foil. is it's gonna kind of let them steam a little bit in the oven to get kind of nice and soft. Tortilla should always be served warm. That's the cinnamon burning to the bottom of the pan. Here we go. We're kind of getting a little char on all these vegetables. Kind of get my oil. You want to cook these kind of on a high heat. What we're going to do is sort of seal them on the outside, still have them nice and juicy in the center.
Oh, we have another question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think chili powder or chili flakes?
Whatever
The chili, yeah. No, it's blowing it into my face. That was the problem. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Well, that is appropriate. Are we using chili powder or chili flakes?
I would recommend flakes. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. I recommend flakes. You have more control with it. Like a little half a pinch here and there with the chili flake won't kill you. So the chili powder. Yeah, much. Okay. So we are looking good here. We can take these. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm not going to take these off just yet. We're going to just put a tiny little bit of tomato paste into the pan. This is going to cool it down. It's going to emulsify all the oils that we have in here. A little bit of water. And it's going to sort of take these kind of semi-dry peppers and turn them into something a little bit more saucy. A little tiny bit more water. Sorry again, if tomato paste was not the ingredient. Cool. So they're looking good. We're going to take those off the heat. I'm going to throw those over here. Now, same again, I'm not going to clean this pan. I'm just going to throw a little bit more oil into it. I've been saving this little quarter of an onion and a clove of garlic. And we're going to refry some beans. So we're going to go really fine with garlic. So if you want to use a garlic crusher, it's totally up to you. And whatever you're comfortable with. And then we're going to go with another just a little dice. Over this onion. Behind the scenes fan rearranging that. All right, so we have our pan just kind of nicely and seasoned, but first the mushrooms, then it's going to have all the sugar from the peppers and onions. We're going to refresh that a little bit with some garlic and onions. We're going to go in with a little oregano. And a tiny little pinch of chili. A lot, not a lot, but a good pinch of salt. So we're cooking the beans now, so beans love salt. So we're just going to get those a little quick further in the pan. The pan is still quite hot. And these are pretty finely chopped, so they're not going to take long to cook. A little bit more salt. The salt here destroys the moisture out of the onions and the garlic and stops everything burning. I have a tin of pinto beans that I have drained, but I've reserved the liquid. So we're just going to cook these until they kind of burst a little bit. And then we're going to smash them. All of that liquid from the tin in there. Gonna turn that down. And then let's finish our salsa. So grab a little more coriander. Just chop that fine-ish. Stems and all, there's a lot of flavor in the stems. Totally edible. If you have like a really stemmy packet of coriander, you could take some of them, chop them up finely, and throw them in with the corn to roast into them. Be delicious. Corn straight from the oven-ish. A little bit of coriander. I have some tomatoes here. I've just de-seeded and cubed. And then I have these onions that are sort of quick pickled with lime and salt. Have a little taste for seasoning. Yeah, that's perfect. Got that. Let's come back to our beans. So you cook them away. It's starting to stick to the bottom of the pan. So we're just going to cook some of this liquid off. Go in with a spoon and just take a few, kind of give them a good mash. Just the back of the spoon. So I'm just running over some of these beans. These are pinto beans I'm using, but this works equally well with black beans, whatever you can get your hands on. So we're going to mash, I'd say, about half. So we leave it with a nice texture. It will kind of be like the chunky root type thing. So that is just about there. I'm just whacking this pan off. There's enough heat left in the cast iron to finish everything. Finish all the second heat. Scrape off, scrape everything off the bottom. That's where we kind of built up all that flavor, starting with the mushrooms and the onions and the peppers, all the seasoning that we put in there. The pan kind of holds on to all of that. So you don't want to lose it. You work hard. So, you got a quick taste? Oh yeah. Okay. So I think we're pretty much there. I'm going to chop a little bit of coriander just to throw it on top of it. Perfect. Okay. Let's clear some of the stuff out of the way, and let's throw together some fajitas. Just going to throw a little bit more liquid in there, just to keep it nice and give it a nice texture. Sticky, but not too dry, you know. My oven's ready. Perfect. So, with some nice warm tortilla. Let's never have too many lines. So. That's an animal thing. Right. That is pretty much us. So. Build one of these things. So, obviously, put whatever you want onto this, but the way I would do it is start with a little bit of the refried beans. They're kind of your glue that's going to hold everything together. Then let's do a little bit of these nicely seasoned peppers and onions. It's all right, it's a little messy. Throw on some of the mushrooms. And we will do a little bit of the guacamole. A little bit of corn salsa. This is great. Do you guys want to come back to work with me?
Are you sure you want us?
The little birds. Go a little bit of the lime yogurt. That's going to be nice and cool everything down. And we'll finish with some coriander. Obviously, leave the coriander out if you're one of those people. I think it's a genetic thing. Couldn't live without. And then a little lime juice. Just kind of freshen everything back up. So that's pretty much it. So the way I would do it, if I fold the end, roll everything over itself, and then yeah, just get into it. That is that's our fajita. So if you don't count all the bowls that I use, it's just one pan and one roasting dish, and it can all be done in under an hour.
That's it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're not a mushroom person, you can use beef or chicken or even prawns would work well in this. Yeah, I'm gonna try some of this.
Yeah, I will just show you eating.
Didn't even have breakfast.
All right, thanks everybody for joining. We'll let Owen continue to chew, and this week we have after dinner chat, and then more cook-alongs on the weekend, and I'll stop so you don't have to keep staring at it. Oh wait, you have one more question, do you?
No, I'm just gonna show you.
All right, our tech support, clearly, we have a lot of it here. All right.
Shared link in the chat, so I think it's-
Perfect. So the after dinner chat, the first one is shared. Thank you for joining us. And next week we'll have lots more.